Hello and welcome. I'm Bob Campbell and this is The Real Review. With me I've got Matt Kirby from Clearview Estate in Hawke's Bay, and Matt's the chief winemaker, and we're delighted to welcome the founder and once winemaker, I think, Tim Turvey. Guys, I've got with me the Clearview Estate Reserve, which is one of the most decorated Chardonnays in New Zealand. It may be the most decorated Chardonnay, but certainly be up there. It's got more medals than a 5-star general, this particular bottle. But even more importantly, you ranked in 5th place in the top wineries, in our top wineries of New Zealand list. Now there's 700 plus wineries in New Zealand. That's an amazing achievement. How did you feel when you found out that you were 5th in line for the throne?
Yeah, it was pretty exciting, Bob, to be honest. Being a small family-run winery that Tim and Helma set up 30 odd years ago. It is pretty exciting for a small little team like us to rank that highly. But as you said, the vineyard that we take fruit from, vineyards we take fruit from, have shown pretty good pedigree over the years. So no, we're pretty chuffed.
You've been around for such a long time. You probably have quite a bit of vine age in the vineyard. Is vine age a serious quality factor? Do you think it makes a difference?
Well, it's vine age and vine health. We've done a lot of work recently, particularly in the block that the Reserve Chardonnay comes from, and the Endeavour Chardonnay, to be honest, over the last few years of retrunking. Just the vines at a certain point, just the trunk sort of, it's that xylem phloem thing, just starts to choke up with a little bit of trunk disease. So we've grown up new trunks, and we are seeing, I think, a healthier canopy because of that. And on 35-plus-year-old Mendoza Chardonnay vines, yeah, I mean, I don't think we ever saw a dip in quality, but I do think the work on those old vines that we've done recently has been beneficial. It's the beauty of the block and what we have going on here with the soil as well. There's no additions made to that wine except sulfur dioxide at bottling. So we're really lucky with how imbalanced that block really is.
I've always get a pronounced mineral note in your Chardonnays. Not all of them all the time, but certainly it comes across. Now, is that something from the sea spray, or is it from the soil, or is it just reductive winemaking, or what's the cause behind it?
I agree with you. It is a character that does come out in pretty much all of our Chardonnays, actually. We make a few of them. Whether it must be proximity to ocean. Somebody asked me the other day whether it was a succinic acid level, but I don't think so. I think it is that proximity to ocean. We are literally in the blocks that we're talking about between 200 and, well, even less, 150 metres and back to about 700 metres down the back of the property. And yeah, I mean, on a big easterly wind, there's probably some salt spray, but we don't see it on the leaves. So no, it must just be that temperate proximity to the ocean. I mean, that vineyard back in the day would have been underwater. So whether there's something in that, I don't know.
Yeah, 10,000 years ago, it was covered in seawater. So the shingle has been placed from, we've found out just recently, more the Mohaka River than the other 3 or 4 flowing into Hawke's Bay. It's the Chardonnay grows best, I think, when there's a couple of feet of topsoil over top with a silica pan, and then the shingle running through underneath. So it allows enough moisture, especially after what we've just had in the last few days, to in balance, have enough to sustain the grapes right till the end.
I guess Chardonnay's your go to wine for both. Perhaps it's not, but what's in second place? What do you if you're when you're not drinking Chardonnay?
We've done a lot of work on Syrah actually recently, but to be honest, a lot of our thought is around Chardonnay, but our rosé production is ever increasing. I think that's across the board. It's quite popular, particularly around the North Island and Hawke's Bay. And to be fair, the production level of that has increased rapidly in the last few years.
It probably keeps us afloat, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yep.
You're a fairly labour-intensive winery, and I thought about you over vintage. Did that pose a problem? This sort of COVID knocking back resources. I mean, particularly Hawke's Bay is full of orchards and has a high demand for casual labour. How did you get on?
Yeah, we're quite lucky. I mean, the winery, we do about between 300 and 350 tonnes a year. And we really don't need a whole lot of extra hands on deck during, from the winery's point of view, during harvest. It's more making sure we've got enough pickers and that sort of stuff to keep that going. But yeah, I mean, 2020 was particularly tricky with our vintage casual needing to isolate. And you know, this year, we'll probably take one person for harvest to give us a hand. But the winery is so small that it's actually quite manageable with very little staff, as long as the staff know what they're doing.
Well, thanks, guys. We're just about out of time, so it's great to see you. I just want to wish you all the best for the 22 vintage. Thanks
for that, Bob.
It's all looking great out there, Bob. Actually, with the spring rain we've had, it's probably as high health as you see our vineyard. So we're excited and looking forward to a great vintage, really.